Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 8th of April 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's morning session where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay guys, so I hope you're all feeling nice and relaxed after the weekend. So yep, and we can jump into the markets again. So the first one I want to touch on here is the WTI Oil. Now looking at this one, continues to climb higher, managed to on Friday it managed to break one of its key resistance levels here of last week. Of course, initially was the high of Wednesday at around 63 mark approximately there, so it managed to break that to the upside and kind of traveled higher. Now of course, we could continue seeing this one traveling further up here. Of course, looking at this kind of shorter term picture, you can see that the commodity continues to trade above a few of these tentative upside support lines. The first one being the steeper one here, taken from the low of the 8th of March, and the other one is taken from the low of the 11th of February. So we're going to keep them in mind here, just have them on our charts in case this reverses and starts dropping lower. Now in terms of the upside here, if this continues to push higher, our next target here could be around the 64.15 level. Now just to kind of show you what that level was in the past, that area was near the highs of 5th of November. So sorry, I do apologize, not the 5th of November, it was more of a 6th of November. Nope, I do apologize. That is correct, the 5th of November. So I'm getting confused here a little bit. So basically near the highs of the 5th of November, so approximately around the 64.15 level, something like that. This is going to be that level that we're going to be keeping a close eye on, because if we get a nice push above this, the next area to watch out for could be around the 65.75 area, something like that, approximately there, marked near the lows of the 23rd of October. So very good, important level to watch. Certainly of course don't forget that we could see something like this happening, where the commodity could retrace a little bit lower and then test the 63 zone and then rebound from it and then push higher again. So but if we see the price dropping in below the 63 zone, now this is going to be something of a neutral territory here for us between the 63 level and the 61.85 on the downside, because in order to, let's say, consider slightly lower levels, we would like to see a drop below the 61.85 level. This way the it would drop below last week's lows, or should I say below the Friday's lows, because still on Monday this is where the pair was. It was trading in the beginning of the day, trading around the 60 zone. So if we see a drop below the 61.85 level, now this is where we could then target this this upside, the steeper upside support line that I was talking about, the one that's running from the low of the 8th of March, and then of course we will take it from there, see what it wants to do. Does it want to break it and push lower, or actually does it want to rebound and maybe like have another run to the upside here? But again, we're going to keep it short and simple for now. I'm not going to go too much into speculation here. So first, basically, if we see this one traveling a little bit lower, keep your eyes on the 63 level. If that gets broken, then this is entering our little neutral territory, which we will continue just observing. In terms of the downside, we need to see a drop below the 61.85 level. And in terms of the upside here, if we do see that rebound here from the 63 level, then our next target is going to be the 64.15, approximately there, just slightly below today's R2, which is around the 64.30, something like that zone. So also good potential target, but then again, for now, guys, keep your eyes on this potential scenario. Let's see how this is going to play out later on today. Bitcoin now, for those or should I say, in other words, the Bitcoin bulls are having a very good time of their lives right now, and of course they're really enjoying this rally here to the upside. I'm looking at the Bitfinex here exchange, guys. So looking at this 4-hour chart, certainly this has the potential here to continue climbing higher. We do have another good potential level here near the 5,440.50 zone, approximately there. This area here is marked near the lows of the 15th of November. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. This is going to be our first target here around the 5,440.50 area, something like that. If that gets broken, certainly of course that could open the path towards slightly higher levels, like the 5,750 level, which was marked here near the highs of the 18th of November. And if we do see a push towards that area, then we'll just reevaluate the crypto again, see what it wants to do. Maybe it would like to have a bit of a retracement here to the downside, but again, also for now, from the very short-term perspective, this is what we're gonna be looking at first, the 5,440.50 zone, approximately there. If we see the crypto traveling towards that area, but then struggling to overcome that, now we could see that a little correction earlier here, and we could see maybe a slide, a move lower here. Now you could in a way draw something like this, basically an upside support line, a bit of a tentative one, but nevertheless you could in a way keep that on your chart just in case, just to see, for example, if this, let's say, travels here towards the 5,450 area, then reverses back down, hits this upside support line, and then again, if it fails to break below that, we could see maybe a rebound here, a nice rebound where the bulls could pick up on that and quickly drive this one to the upside again. But if this starts getting broken, then of course this is where we're going to start being a little bit more cautious in the short run, because if this continues to travel lower and drops below the 4,965 level, approximately there, marked near the low of the 6th of April, then we could see this one like maybe sliding a little bit lower here. We could then initially target the 4,840, or then the slightly lower area, the 4,745.40 zone, approximately there. So again, we're also going to take it just till here for now, and if we do see a drop lower, then we will reevaluate this one again, because maybe we could see a further decline here towards the 4,500 zone, approximately there, guys. So for now, this is the game plan. Let's see if this is going to play out. Certainly, again, for now, it continues to climb higher. If it starts breaking today's R1, which is around the 5,345 level, keep your eyes on the 5,450 zone, approximately there, and then we'll just take it from there, see if it wants to break it or not. If it breaks that, then that's wonderful. We could see further acceleration to the upside. If it fails, then we could see a bit of a correction here to the downside. DXY, very quickly on this one, and yesterday, last week, it was moving a little bit sideways here, so kind of stuck here between the 97 here on the downside and the 97.50 zone on the upside. So what we're going to do here is, of course, we're going to wait until we see a nice good exit through either of the sides here, either through the 97.50 level, and if we do see something like that, then yep, our next potential target could be around the 97.70, which is near the highs of the 7th of March. And if that fails to withhold the 97.88 zone, that's going to be the next one on our radar. Just to show you what that level was here in the past, we need to kind of scroll back, way back here, and if you, I don't know if you can see it here, need to jump into a daily chart on this one. So basically this is what I'm talking about. So this was the high here near the 19th and the 20th of June here, 2017. So this is the level that I'm talking about, the 97.88 zone. So on June here, in June, the level managed to hold this index down and kind of pushed lower. You can see that from this area kind of slid lower all the way here towards the 88 area. For now we're not going to kind of go radical on this one. If we see, of course, a push above the 97.50 zone, that's great. The next target for us is going to be around the 97.70, and then we'll see what it wants to do from here. In terms of the downside, well, I mean, in term here from the very short-term perspective, you could in a way look at this little area here around the 97.20, something like that, maybe just a little bit, a few ticks lower. If that gets broken, then the target for us is going to be the 97 zone, and if that fails to withhold, we will then target this tentative upside support line. I mean, I do understand it got broken here, but still quite an interesting line. This one is the one that's running from the lows of the 31st of January. So we're going to keep an eye on that one if we see a drop below the 97 zone. But in order to get to the 97 zone, the index would need to overcome the 97.20 level first, and then we'll, like I said, we'll take it from there. So that's why, guys, for now on this one, we're going to be very cautious, somewhat neutral still, and I'm going to continue observing some of these key breakout levels. USDJPY, now jumping into a few pairs. USDJPY, last week I was talking about and I was telling you guys to watch out for these two levels. So on the 111.50 on the downside and the 111.85 on the upside. So basically we had a nice drop here below the 111.50. Of course, this is now opening the path towards slightly lower levels, like the 111.15, marked here near the highs of the 31st of March and near the lows of the 19th of March. If that fails to withhold, it could travel the pair could travel all the way here towards this upside support line running from the 25th of March. Now it's a bit of a tentative one, of course, but nevertheless we will keep a close eye on it as well. So but again, like I said, for now, looking at this current picture, if it continues to trade, if it struggles, let's say, to get back above the 111.50 level, then yep, we could be targeting lower levels a little bit here, so around the 111.15, or like I said, this upside support line. So keep your eyes on this one. In terms of the upside, well, I mean, initially, of course, we would like to see this one traveling back above the 111.70, which is also around today's pivot. And then, of course, for better confirmation, probably a break above the 111.85 zone could be that nice gateway towards higher levels, where we could then target the 112 or even slightly above that. But for now, it seems to be more bearish than bullish. Euro dollar. Now with this one, it's a very tricky one as well. On one hand, of course, it failed last week. It failed to kind of drive to the lows here, that was to the lows of March, which were around the 1.1175 zone. Kind of failed to drive towards that area, and reversed and pushed higher, continued kind of forming higher lows, but still not really kind of on that bullish side yet. Basically, for us to start looking at higher levels on this one, we would like to see a nice good push back above the 1.1250 level, and then we could target the areas like the 1.12 1.1275, 85, of course this 200 EMA, or even actually going further up here. But again, for now guys, looking at this picture, we're going to remain somewhat neutral because it's also not far from this support zone around the 1.1205, and if that gets broken, then of course we will target the area near the lows of the 2nd of April, which was around the 1.1190. But if that also gets broken, then our other important level is the lowest point of March, which is around the 1.1175. Now in terms of the from the near term perspective here, if we see a drop below the 1.1175, now this is where it could turn out to be quite ugly for euro dollar, because we could see of course a new lower low, and yep, we could then target areas like, of course, initially around the 1.11 and then lower. But for now, until we're kind of stuck here, we're going to continue observing these two levels first, the 1.1205 on the downside and the 1.1250 on the upside. So keep your eyes on this one, and let's see how this is going to play out later on today, or maybe even this week. So yep, okay guys, I hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for sticking around and watching until the end. So if you want to join me later on at my traders tea time, and that's 13:15 GMT time. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.